Well, what's this? Episode 4, 5, 6, 7?
3.
Is it 3? Is it? Are you sure?
Oh no, 4.
It is 4.
4. No, because 3 isn't out yet because you couldn't be asked to edit it. Yeah, that's it. 3.
No, but it will be out by the time this is out.
I fucking hope so.
Two boys, friends for a while, pretending they're close. Denial, so they put time aside once a week to spend some time chatting. This is two not so good friends.
I feel like this should be a talking point, but I don't feel like you are mainstream enough.
Yeah, go on.
Stranger Things.
Not watched it.
Why though? Why not?
I struggle with things that are so heavily watched.
Yeah, I know you do.
They just
I know
annoy
you do.
me.
I knew you wouldn't have watched it. I bet you haven't watched Game of Thrones either.
No, but I don't think. To be fair, I don't really like sci-fi stuff. So
Yeah. See, Stranger Things is a different vibe. Like, Esme actually got me into Stranger Things.
when Game of Thrones was all a vibe, I watched it purely because it was. Wait, did I just say Game of Thrones or Stranger Things?
You did, yeah. You said Game of Thrones.
Yeah, but when that was a thing, I just purely didn't watch it because it was popular, and I was like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Now I've learned that things are generally popular because they are generally quite good. I just have no interest in Stranger Things.
I think that's a shame. I do, because I think what will...
You know what? I don't give a fuck.
We're getting topical, baby.
Give me that news, I gotta know it.
We're getting topical, baby.
Give me that news, I gotta know it.
So news caught me unawares, but I do have a couple of things to talk about.
Go on.
It's all carries on from this initially. Love Island is back from June the 6th. In fact, by the
haven't
time
they got the first deaf contestant now?
they
or something?
have, but do you know whose daughter's going on it?
Oh, can I have a guess? Don't tell me.
Have a guess.
Footballer?
Yeah. Well, it was.
I actually don't know this, by the way. I don't know. Gary Neville's fucking daughter or something? I don't know. Go on.
God, you sicko. She's about 7.
Or is she? I don't know. He looks old enough to have like a mid-20s daughter.
Yeah, he does. It's Michael Owen's daughter.
Oh, right. Okay.
The most boring man.
Incidentally, younger than Gary Neville, probably.
That was the main point of Love Island. Obviously, do you not watch Love Island?
No.
Do you not?
No.
Oh, that's great.
Like, you love that, and then rip me for enjoying
I
Stranger
know.
Things.
I wouldn't say I love it, but it
By the
fills
way,
a void.
Gary Neville is 47, Michael Owen is 42. So, you know, I was kind of right with the whole daughter thing.
What I would say is, I think people are getting turned off of Love Island now because they are Michael Owen. Like, the people go on there to win the money and become famous. Why does Michael Owen's daughter need to do that?
For a sense of purpose in life, maybe. I don't know. Like,
if I was Michael Owen's daughter, I would be just loving life, having no worries, minted, few horses.
Yeah, I mean, what if you actually had a bit of intelligence about you though and wanted to do a bit more? I mean, Love Island is not the place for intelligent
She's gone on
people.
Love Island, then, has she? But there's that. And did you, in the lockdown, watch Bo Burnham's Inside?
No.
I honestly can't believe anything about you. So you've watched Stranger Things. I mean, that was quite... The Bo Burnham thing was quite mainstream.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I must admit, I'm more into like the sci-fi stuff.
It was a bit sci-fi. It wasn't sci-fi at all. It was a bit sci-fi.
People. So you've got two kinds of people, I think, on Netflix. You've got the people who are going to watch like real crime drama, or fucking shows about fucking serial killers and shit like that, or like Tiger King and stuff. Or you've got the people who are just going to watch like the sci-fi made up shit. No one really crosses over and watches both regularly.
Where does comedy fit into that then?
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I watched Ricky Gervais's stand-up.
I
That was
hate
quite good.
Ricky Gervais so much.
Why?
You know, it annoys me now because everything about him is just... I know he came into a lot of shit, didn't he? Because he apparently there's like a load of transphobic parts in it.
Oh, it's so funny.
But it's more
Honestly.
the point that his whole gig now is just, one, I'm an atheist, deal with it. Everyone does deal with it. No one cares if you're an atheist. Like, he's the only one that says it. And his Twitter is just like, it's okay to offend people, blah blah blah. And it's just, when you're in like year 8 and you say something edgy, and it's like, I don't care if you're offended. If you're offended, you're the dick. He's still doing that crack. And I'm just like, mate.
Yeah, but for some reason, how old is he? Like late 40s, early 50s?
Yeah, something like that.
Some reason when you're that age, it's just funny.
I just
I don't know. I just feel like the no filter sort of say it how it is kind of humor. It just gets me. Like it's so funny. Like
I liked The Office. I liked Extras, and season 1 of Afterlife was okay. But other than that,
I mean, when he's walking past the school and that kid goes pedo,
I've
and he
met
goes,
that kid. I've worked with that
"Oh,
kid.
Fuck off, you have seriously."
Oh yeah, it's a new segment. What are they talking about now?
So similar to the TV show thing, you've always had a very niche sort of taste in music. So like growing up, you'd listen to like The Lonely Island when you were like 9.
I don't think that was niche. I just have a really big vibe.
No,
Like Weird Al. I listened to Weird Al Yankovic too. I just
yeah, I mean,
love comedy music. Can't get
you were
enough of it.
very, very different with your music taste growing up. And I
Quirky,
remember,
indie.
we had a few years where we
Inspirational.
didn't see each other while you were at uni, etc. And then we started meeting up again, and you had 21 Pilots on in the car,
Ah,
but they were like not even a thing over here yet. Their single hadn't even come out yet. You'd found the whole album, and we were all vibing to that before it came out in the charts. It was just like you've always had this thing with music where you just find decent stuff.
I'm just bloody good at things.
What is going on in your playlist at the moment? What is different that no one else is listening to, and you're like, this is a vibe?
My playlist at the minute, I think, is fairly average. So I'm currently listening to a rapper called Amine,
Never heard of them.
from Oregon. I think he's from Oregon, Portland. He's quite good. I am listening to Harry Styles. Obviously, that's not that quirky, but he's
Right.
incredible.
Okay. So this was my next thing. Where do you stand on Harry Styles? Because you've always been like anti One Direction.
I thought One Direction was shit. I think all
Not-
four
not
other
gonna lie.
members.
One of my biggest guilty pleasures in life was One Direction. Not
I
ashamed
think
to say it either.
no, I think their singles were decent, but I just don't. I mean, the other four are shite. The other four have done nothing. He was the only
Niall's
one.
okay.
Nice shit. The only song that he did that managed to get in the charts sounded like another One Direction song.
Yeah, true. Harry's really put his stamp on
Like
what he is.
Harry Styles' first album was okay. His second and third album are absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, his third album. So the sushi song.
Yeah.
What a vibe that is. And to be honest, I thought the sushi restaurant song, I thought no one's going to really have listened to this one because of the name of the song. Like people are going to have
No,
looked
that's
at that and
gonna
thought,
people go straight to it. It's all over TikTok as well.
So I thought people would look at that and go, oh, maybe I'll skip that one. It's going to sound shit. And I think actually the start of the song is a bit like, it's going to be weird. I skipped it a couple of times when listening to the album.
Did you?
Yeah, only because it was like 5 seconds in and I thought, oh, it's going to be wank. Then I listened to it properly because I couldn't skip. I was like busy. I was like, oh my God, what a vibe. And now it's like on repeat when I'm driving home. It's fucking mint.
I've got my top artists of. I'll do all time because they're pretty much the same. I'll go through the top 20 and so number one is the
Fucking
Wombats.
hell, 20.
Number one is the Wombats.
Really?
Yeah, I bloody love the Wombats.
Okay.
Number 2 is 21 Pilots.
Yeah, fair.
Number 3 is Bombay Bicycle Club.
Fair.
Number 4 is Oliver Tree.
Never heard.
Number 5, you'll have heard some of his songs. Number 5 is Bo Burnham. Number 6 is Keen somehow.
Fucking keen.
Number 7 is Joji. 8 Eminem. 9 Harry Styles. 10 Charlie XCX.
Okay.
Big vibe on that.
Different.
And then the ones that you probably wouldn't have heard of are 50. Number 14 is a band called Love, Fame, Tragedy, which is the lead singer of the Wombats, his solo thing.
Okay.
Number 15 is Broods, and then we got Dan Kroll and Wet Leg. Wet Leg have
Okay.
done pretty well to get into that all-time top 20,
Okay.
considering they've had an album out for 2 months.
It just crossed my mind before, yesterday, I think, when I sent it over, because I was a bit like, I was looking for something different to listen to, because I get a bit bored of listening to the same shit all the time. That is why I got into podcasts, actually, because I feel like music, I can't listen to the radio. I fucking hate the radio.
Yeah.
Obviously, I go to Stockholm on the 18th. Harry Styles is playing there on the 29th. I would have been home for 3 days at that point. I'm actually guilty because me and Esme were going to go.
Yeah, but his tickets were like a lot.
I think worth it. I do think worth it. Like some people, you'd pay to go and see. For example, I paid to see Mumford and Sons. Absolutely incredible live. I think genuinely probably one of the best live bands in the world.
I'm really shocked that Mumford and Sons is your go-to artist.
Mate, they're fucking mint. I don't know what it is. I think they're just
Have they
not
even
really...
released a song in the past like 10 years?
Yeah, they had a decent album out. I think 2019.
I don't
Honestly,
think they're,
if you ever
they're
get
on
the
a...
chance to see them, then do it.
No, I don't think I will. I think they're on...
Such a cunt.
No, I don't think I will actually. They're on a
I
level.
think you
They're on the
should.
same level as Imagine Dragons for me. Just fucking vapid shite.
Really? You used to
Yeah.
like Mumford and Sons?
No, I like their first few songs are okay.
No, because like the third album, you had on in your car.
What was the third? What was on the third? Maybe they had one
So like
single.
Tompkins Square Park.
That one song was very good. Yes, that was a good
Yeah.
song.
So, have you listened to the fourth album?
No, absolutely not.
You should do.
It's like Imagine
Should do.
Dragons though. Imagine Dragons, their first album was all right, and then they
Yeah,
saw
I do like them. I do like them.
their recent shit, and they're just so safe. You know, like when when you know a band's gonna release an album which is all right, but it's
Yeah.
like it's just all right. They're just that.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I suppose Mumford and Sons are the same in that sense, but I don't know. I just love them. They're not a guilty.
No, but I
pleasure.
could at least
They're
I
just
can at
mint.
least throw a bit of respect towards Mumford because they did switch up their sound entirely for the third album.
Mm.
Like that Tompkins Square Park, whatever it's called, was completely different to
Yeah.
their first stuff. But Imagine Dragons, you could play any song and you could just be like, that probably could have been on the first album. In fact, for all we know, they
Yeah.
could have spent the early 2000s writing about 200 songs and they're just now writing
Probably-
nothing and releasing.
Probably the case.
I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. I ran out of ideas, I hate it.
I hate it. It does what it says on the bloody tin.
This actually happened to me this week. I'm driving home from work. For some reason in England, we've got this weird road rage, right? Everyone gets it. I don't care who you are. Everyone gets fucking road rage, right? I'm driving home. There's a guy who undercuts me at the roundabout going into like a 2-lane dual carriageway. And then because he's fucked it and realises he's in the wrong lane, he's then indicating to try and get back in alongside me the whole fucking way down. Rather than just slowing down and letting me go past, he's then sped up to try and undertake me and get in. So then at that point I'm thinking, no, I'm not fucking having this. So I speed up. And then by the time we're at the roundabout, he's then cutting me up on the fucking roundabout to get into the lane. He's like not giving it in. So obviously I beat my horn. And then we pull up at the lights and the guy gets out of his car and comes up to my car and then sort of says, "What the fuck are you playing at, blah, blah, blah." And I'm like,
Shit, he got out.
yeah. And I'm like, well, first of all, you were in the wrong. You know, I was right, you were wrong, basically. Stop being a cunt. And he very quickly got back in his car after a few more words were said. And then, I just hate that. Like, what's the need? What was the point in it? Like, he's literally losing probably 10 seconds of his day by waiting for me to go past and get in the lane and do the correct fucking procedure for changing lanes, yeah? And then it turned into some fucking nearly a scrap, like waiting at the traffic lights. 'cause
People
he's
get
just
into
a cunt.
cars. People get into cars and it changes. Like it has happened to me before. Like quite like it happens to me regularly. You know, you just get mouthy in a car. People are just
Yeah.
dickheads.
Yeah. I mean, I've been that guy. I've been guy like where something's happened, and I'm been like, oh shit, I need to change lane. And like when I first passed and I'm fucking shit at driving, I just fucking throw it in the lane and hope for the best. And then it's like people beeping at me and shit. So then I lose my head and start swearing and stuff. But it's like this guy was like mid-40s, probably been driving for 20 years.
Like driving just taps into a part of your brain that you just can never ever get better at.
Oh man, like I was fuming. I was absolutely fuming the whole way home, and I was just like, I could have let it ruin my day.
I learnt my lesson very early. I think before I even started driving. So like I'll be mouthy, but not too mouthy. And I also am like I'm aware that if I'm gonna be mouthy, I'll do it if they've cut in front on a roundabout, I'll do it as they're taking the exit that I'm not taking, right? So I'll give them, because there was a time where I was in the passenger seat of one of our mates' cars back at school. There was me in the passenger seat in the front, two in the back. You tell the story, and that people weren't there, just like bollocks, because it's literally the exact thing of the in-betweeners, right? So, you got small form roundabouts, and you're driving
Yeah.
up from Tunstall. So so for your reference, you come up to one of the roundabouts, and on your left is a Starbucks.
Yeah.
On your right, if you were to go right on the roundabout, it'd take you towards Hanley Central Park and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So we've come up from Tunstall, and at the bottom of the hill, it's a hill up to the roundabouts, right? At the bottom of the hill, there's this guy. I was like 17, 18. Guy walking up. So I open the window and just shouted out, wanker. Because we're driving past. And I was like, he's at the bottom of the hill. There's like a couple of cars in front, but that's at the top of the hill. It will be gone. Get to the top of the hill. These cars, because it's small for roundabout, they're just not going. And I see in the ring mirror, he's approaching. And I'm like, but it doesn't click really, because you're like, oh, I've just shouted wanker. He's probably just going to walk past, give me the finger.
No.
I see him then cut across off of the pavement and across the lanes. And I'm like, mate, fucking lock the door. Everyone in the cars, because you know what we're like when we're in school, just dickheads. He's like, I'm not locking the door. And this guy opens the door.
Oh.
And he's like, what the fuck did you just say? And I was like, mate, I'm sorry. I was like, it's just a joke. I'm like, really sorry. He's like, and I can't really remember what happened. I just remember I apologized a lot, and he was like, yeah, you better fucking be. And he slammed the door shut and fucked off. But ever since then, I was like, I'm gonna stop doing that on built-up areas, because he could have just been like, open the door, smashed me with a knife or something.
Well, you did call him a wanker for no fucking reason.
But fuck me, have thicker skin than that.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but still, that's funny though. The fact
If
that
someone
you just
called me a wanker,
sorry,
mate, if I'd have said yard, he would have just ripped me out of the car, and I would have been like thrown around the roundabouts.
Oh yeah, it's a new segment. What are they talking about now?
Jaffa cakes. How much is a pack of cake? How much is a pack of Jaffa cakes? Like 150, £2.
That may be a quid up here.
Go to Lidl.
How much?
Lidl's own brand Jaffa cakes. They're like 99p. You get 26. No. You know Jaffa cakes, the standard Jaffa cakes. You got cake and like the smallest, tiniest little bit of orange segment.
Yeah, Lidl all over.
Lidl ain't
Pretty
fucking
much.
about. And the chocolate is like, the chocolate is hard, so it cracks when you bite into it. It's not that like spongy,
See, I prefer the spongy.
Nah, no, the sponge is spongy, but the chocolate cracks and then melts really nicely.
I don't want that. I want the actual OG.
Such a fucking twat. Oh god, this one's annoying. This podcast's annoying me today. That's 3 things you fucked me off at tonight. Tell you something genuine, and you fuck it for me.
No, I'm not trying to fuck it. I'm just saying, like, home bargains. Yeah, don't be above going in there. No one should be above going in there. I went in there. I think you can get like 2 packets of Jaffa cakes for £1.
No, it's not about like the thing.
No,
But I'm saying the
I know what
brand
you're
Jaffa
saying.
cakes are shit.
Are you? I see. Me and you're gonna fall out here, man.
I'd go.
I'd wrap up this segment.
Every single off-brand Jaffa cake is better than the Jaffa cake. Aldi's
Is it
Jaffa
though?
cakes. Aldi Jaffa cakes. Because Jaffa cakes without the orange are nothing.
I don't know. Right, here's a question.
Cake or biscuit? You know what, mate? I don't give a fuck. What's the best biscuit in the world? There's a theme to my questions tonight, but the best biscuit in the world, because I know what it is.
Oh, oh, that was hard. That was hard to hear. You're gonna say a custard cream. Oh man. Ooh. Alright, so the best you're not saying custard cream.
is.
Oh, no, you can't say custard cream.
What do you mean? It's the biscuit for every occasion.
Such a shite biscuit.
What? How?
Oh my god.
What would you say?
You're so basic, bitch.
What would you say?
It's got to be a ginger snap.
Is that just like a ginger biscuit?
Yeah.
See, I was going to say custard cream takes the cake all the time, but there are times custard cream for me is the best safe biscuit, as in like I'm never gonna say no to a custard cream.
Why do you want to be safe with a biscuit?
Well, no, just like I know that every single time I eat it, I'm gonna just be happy, followed by immense sadness.
So
And then
basic.
the ginger biscuits, though, I had to stop getting them in because if I get a pack of ginger biscuits, I'll just do them in a night.
Right, so that proves that they're the best
I'll
biscuit.
just Bryony's aunt does makes her own ginger biscuits, and honestly, they are like crack. She makes them homemade, and they're like biscuit, but they're also soft. And she puts like she puts like some caramelized ginger in the middle of them
So
too.
they're like a gooey centre,
Yeah,
chewy. Oh, mate, they're the ones, them.
They're still fucking talking. They're still fucking talking. They're still fucking talking. A load of shit, man.
So I thought, well, let's actually try and improve on being not so good friends, and see if by the end of this podcast, not this one, it's going to take a fucking while because we're that bad, if we can eventually become good friends.
which is not going to happen because this podcast will never end. So it's like
Somehow-
saying, "Wait for tomorrow."
Somehow I just hit 10,000 steps of the day. Don't know how. Fitbits are fucked. Anywho, tell me, James. How was your week?
I don't like this. My week was a mixture of shit and very good. So the
Okay.
shit would be very busy work, very busy work, like late nights of just writing, and then like long days of just like starting at the unreasonable time of like 7 and just working through to like 7 or 8 again,
Mm.
and just writing stuff, and just because it's been quite busy. But then obviously hitting at Wembley for Vale in the playoff final was, I've never seen Vale play at Wembley. Never
I
seen
bet that
Vale
was quite
really.
cool.
I've never seen Vale really win. It was
'Cause
mad.
your granddad came too, right?
Everyone came.
How's the family? How are the kids?
Just chilling, chilling,
Yeah.
chilling around. It's half term week, so working
Yeah,
from
again
home and
already.
yeah, it just, you know what? They have so many holidays. It annoys me because even at school, when at school you're like, these are probably some pretty good days that we're never going to experience again. Still took it for granted at how much time off we actually had.
Yeah.
You finish your day at 3:30 at the latest.
Mm-hmm.
So go on then. What's your week been like?
Up and down. I must admit, up and down. I mean, the last few weeks, I'm going to get a bit deep here.
Oh God.
I'm going to get a bit deep here. So, I don't know if you actually know this, but I feel like it's something that needs to be spoken about. So, for the last, I'd say 5 or 6 years, I've actually been suffering with depression and
Right,
anxiety.
don't say it now because I'm laughing.
No, it's fine to laugh because I know what you're like anyway. I was always one of those people who looked at it and thought, just being a bit of a mild twat, aren't you? Like,
You're on
over it.
antidepressants?
No.
No.
No, I don't. Like, I've tried, not great. Doesn't really work for me anyway. Like, I'm sure it will for other people. Don't not take them if your doctor wants you to. Fuck me.
Well, I say that, but I've been prescribed. They seem to prescribe them all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very skeptical about them because I then don't know how I'm feeling, if I'm all right or not.
They didn't do anything for
Anyway.
me.
Anyway, so I was having a bit of a shit time of it the last few weeks, just sort of like in that low phase where you sort of like even struggling to get out of bed in the morning, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've been through that. Had a bit of an instance at work where it was like I had to sort of open up and talk about it, and 'cause I had a
Really?
couple, yeah, because I had a couple of days off where it was like there's no real reason. Do you know what I mean? So it's just like I just sort of text in saying I'm not coming in today, and he's like, "Well, why?" And I was like, "Well, I don't really know." Like I couldn't think of an excuse either. I was just like that, feeling that shit. I couldn't even think of an excuse to not go in. So anyway, I went in on Monday last week, back in. And I was like, right, here's the crack. And I sat down and told him, and he was like, okay, why didn't you tell me that at the start? This is a real tangent. This is more the difference of what's happened in the week. But my old boss, I think 2 bosses ago, I told him about it, and he was like, right, okay, cool. Didn't really know how to handle it. And then a week later, I was like, by the way, having a bit of a shit time again. I'm just going to take the day if that's okay. Got a phone call about 10 minutes later saying, oh, I thought you'd have bounced back from this by now, blah, 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 you're a young lad, etc., etc. Basically, fucking not understanding it, which not everyone does, fair enough, but it really put me off fucking opening up to people and telling people.
The
And
new
then every
guy's
now and
decent
then,
though. The new guy's more understanding about it.
yeah, 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 he's actually, I'm not gonna say anything about it, but he was very understanding. Take of that what you will. Um,
You've been fired.
yeah, so this is,
So what is it? Was it like any specific anxiety or anything?
not really. It's not. To be honest, it's more the depression. The anxiety is sort of fueled by people judging me on the depression.
Right.
You know
Okay.
what I mean? So like because of what happened with the old boss, where he was a cunt about it, I've then got anxiety about telling people because I feel like they're just going to be like, oh, no, get over it, you cunt. And it's not easy to fucking deal with or talk about. What I've found is taking something completely out of the question and bringing it into the mix, like as a hobby. So, for example, Xbox. Everyone plays Xbox or PlayStation just to take their mind off things. I've got to the point now where most of the time, even that isn't enough. So it's like we've got a little pond outside. So what I've spent the last probably 3 weeks doing in between all of the other stuff I do is sort of like cleaning out the pond and getting it to a decent standard, and then adding new fish in and just sort of like putting time into that and learning about how to look after a pond really. That's fucking helped loads because it's been like, all right, it's cost me a little bit of money, but it's been worth it because it's helped me. I'm just like
Mm.
literally, I've found over the past 3 weeks that is the only time I'm switched off is when I'm sorting that out. It's so fucking, it's like such an old man hobby, but it's like just switched off. It's fucking mint. And then I come back and I'm doing my nerd stuff, and I'm like, yeah, right, cool. I'm seeing improvements now. So it's so important to have that downtime away from everything. And I feel like because we do media related things away from our day jobs as well, it's a constant fucking cycle of things feeling like work even though they're not. Like
Yeah.
this is just a laugh for us, isn't it? It's not anything serious. We put it out there. If people watch it, they watch it. If not, we're not gonna fucking cry
Well,
about
this
it.
this is the difference I've seen from this in the sense of when I did the carpet lines with Rob, and I do my TikTok stuff now, and I started doing music stuff again on my own. Like less so much with the music stuff on my own, but like with the carpet lines and with the TikTok, I have an expectation of what I want it to be like and where I want it to go and what I want it to do. And whether or not it gets to those places, even if it does, it's not like, oh, that video got 1 million views. That's really great. It's more like, okay, now I need to do that again, but somehow try and beat that amount of views.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it?
You were there that day, weren't you? When me, you, and Keegan went and just went ham on energy drinks.
Yeah, that was
That
bad.
was bad.
That was bad because they just brought out the little
The shots.
This has to go in, by the way. We just brought out the little shots of Relentless, I think it was, and Monster, and we were like, oh my god, we need to try those. They're so
But they
cool.
were the
Let's
ones that
try
were
them.
like, yeah, they were like, what was it, like 3 cans worth of caffeine or something in a
Yeah,
shot. So they were like,
they very quickly stopped making those.
but
Yeah, we
we
didn't
we
even
went
know
out.
what was going on.
I think I went out with 20 quid, and I think we all went out with 20 quid. And rather
No,
than
that doesn't sound right for me. I think I had a quid.
no, you must have done because we were all keeping up with each other. Like we
No, I
literally,
think what I did was got you to buy me mine.
oh mate, yeah, that does sound like you. So maybe like
Yeah,
it was 10 tenors each, but we blew our, let's say, a tenner on like energy drinks. But like I remember that we had a couple of the cheap cans, which were like 30p.
yeah.
We had some of the bigger cheap cans, which were like 80p.
hmm
We had one of those like shots or a couple of those shots each, and then we
They
had
were
like
like £2.50 each as well. Like
yeah,
they were not cheap.
then we had like an actual Red Bull. We must have had like 5 or 6 ones in the space of about an hour.
Oh yeah, I do remember. I think we ran about 2 miles, just laughing.
I just honestly, that was
Like we just got the giggles about something had happened, and we just got the giggles, and then we were just running and running and running. I think we were
how did
trying
we
to.
not get ID'd for that?
You didn't have to then. Anyone could buy it. A fucking 6-year-old could have gone in and bought those legally.
That was danger.
Yeah, and yet last year I was getting ID'd for a fucking can of Monster, the zero sugar. I was just like, oh my god, what has the fucking world come to? And every time I get ID for an energy drink, I do think, yeah, really done a lot worse with energy drinks. Like, I remember being so bad that day. I think I got home and I was just like pacing around. Could
I
not fucking
can't.
settle at all.
I can't remember. All I can remember is being outside the shop at the bottom of Knipersley.
Yeah, yeah. The
'Cause
Crossroads.
That's where we bought the shots from.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was bad. It was bad. I was pacing all fucking day, and I think I managed to do a 6-hour stint on FIFA, even though I started it at like 10 p.m. I was just wired until like 4 a.m. when I eventually just fucking crashed and fell asleep with the controller in my fucking hands. It was just like literally just like fucking gone. Yeah, it was bad. I mean, again, good place to wrap up, I think. Because
Yeah.
otherwise we'll be here till 6 o'clock in the morning, and I can't do that because of work. I'm already getting up in 5 hours. 5
So-
hours.
Like, subscribe, do all of the
Mm.
usual stuff that you don't actually do yet.
Yeah.
Maybe start with watching it. And I know we should put this call to action at the beginning because to tell you to watch it after sitting through 25
Well,
minutes.
what we
of
need
an
is a
episode.
like and subscribe jingle.
If you've listened this far, you'll wanna listen again. So make sure you subscribe, like and post your comments.
Yeah, cool.
Two boys, friends for a while, pretending they're close. Denial, so they put time aside once a week to spend some time chatting. This is two not so good friends.